Hey everyone, am I audible? Thank you. So today we are going to discuss about pitching your project 101. Let me first introduce myself. I'm a CSC undergrad at NIT Raulkela. I'm founder of C Coders Women Community of NIT Raulkela. I'm a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, a tech content creator, and winner at 15 national and international hackathons. So what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss today the perfect pitch, winning strategies, readme.md of your project, and special readme. So first discuss about hackathon judges and what do they evaluate. The evaluation criteria vary from one hackathon to another, but there are some common patterns. Ideas originality, hard things that haven't been done before, visual aspects of the project, that is UX UI, are well crafted, and beautiful interfaces that will help your team better explain the idea. Solid technical solutions, that is technical complexity, how much learning did the team did during the weekend. Are judges as hackathon focused on a specific theme? If there are themes involved, you need to make sure to tie your app into one of those themes. As you can see, it is hard to know the judging criteria. Therefore, invest your time building a project that you feel proud of. It's great to align your vision with hackathon topic and context, but do not overthink while creating the project you think judges want. Play freely and create something you're passionate about. So after creating the hackathon project, your task is to build a pitch for your project. In this webinar, we are going to discuss about building your pitch. So let's get started. The perfect pitching structure, that is the presentation. Focus first on demoing your project. You need to keep it realistic. Keep slides to a minimum. If you will use slides, use them to tell a story. Use your slides to add humor, introduce person who will use your app, or describe the architecture from a higher level. Here is an excellent structure to make your pitch. Do not let a lousy pitch ruin your chances of winning your next hackathon. Here are 6 tips on which you can deliver a winning pitch. The most essential part of any hackathon is a 2 to 3 minutes of you and your team's pitch. So in the first place, present a 15 seconds of introduction. Start the video with a brief introduction of your project, team's name, project name, problem that your project solves. But do not introduce each member. You can eat up a lot of time. In the second 15 seconds, describe the problem statement. What problem did you identify for solving? How big is the problem? After that, take 15 seconds more and describe the impact. How could solving the problem add to the market? How could it become a business or a market influential project? After that comes the product. Take 1 minute of yours and explain about your product. What was the inspiration of the idea? What is the app? Who are your target users? What are their core features? What makes your app different? What were the challenges you faced? What would have been you have focused if you had more time? What is the business value of the application? And what is the plan for the idea post hackathon? After this, you have to present a demo. Remember, your demo is the most crucial part of your pitching. In this 1 minute, demonstrate and explain the hack. Explain the core features of the hack. Actually, demo your project. Show the code. The judges need to see the working project in addition to hearing what you did. And after that, take 15 seconds to wrap up your demo. Be sure to mention what was used to build core features. Highlight all technologies used in your application, especially the sponsored technology. Do you have any questions before we start with the next topic? If there is any question, write in the chat section. Okay. Instead of introducing each member, what you should do? You should introduce your project name, and tip 1-2 lines about your project. That is known as your elevator speech. Do you have to use sponsored technology? Like, take an example. In Tech Together Boston, this year Microsoft is a sponsor. So if you're using Azure or any other technologies of Microsoft, then you have to mention the sponsored technology you have used. Not only that, there are other sponsors too. If you are using their technology, you have to mention that you have used their technology, so that your pitch should contain the technologies you have used of the sponsored one. Any other doubt? I think there are no more doubts. Let's continue. So now we shall discuss about project demo tips. Know the rules. Every hackathon has different rules that will impact how you should structure your pitch. The video must be 3 minutes or less in length. A regular pitch length is 3 minutes, that is approximately 400 words and 27 sentences. Make every second count. Always write a script on what you want to say or show, and practice it over and over again before demoing. In a hackathon, you start making a concept of your product and then code it. Do the same for your pitch. Get the storyline straight first and then build it. Bring the audience straight into the story and explain what is the problem you are solving. How big is the problem and what does it cause? The next question that comes into your mind, that is, how much details? Like, you do not need to explain every technology or every code of your in the demo video. So how much details? I have seen many technical pitches which got utterly lost in the details of the technology. Do not disappear in the details. Keep to the headlines and ensure that you have time to cover all the topics, not just the specific product. The video must be uploaded to an accessible site like YouTube, Dropbox, Drive, etc. A working public link to the demo video must be created, and the video should be playable from the web with the site's inbuilt web browser. Make sure it provides a clear sound. You do not need every one of your team members to talk on the video. Select one person in the team to deliver the presentation. Practice a few times to reduce the number of times you need to do a handoff during your video. Have a planned time to make your demo video and do not wait till the last minute of the hackathon. Give yourself and your team some time to make a nice video. If you want to do any editing on the video, make sure you have enough time to do that. Horizontal videos typically look better when viewed. So record in landscape mode with your phone held horizontally. The video's focus should be on pitching your project and not a story about making your project. Note this. Review the video, and editing is optional. Unless it is one of the event requirements, editing the video is not required. but you should review the tape to ensure it says all the points you want to discuss about your project and highlight what makes your project unique. Now you just need to upload the video, get the link and send it to another person to verify if it plays till the end or not. Does someone want to speak or have any doubt? Because someone mic is on. These were all the points and all the tips about demoing your project. Do you have any question before we start with the next topic? Then drop it in the chat section. At every hackathon you went to did, you have to make a video, or was it live? See, in some hackathons you have live demoing, and in some hackathons you have to demo. You have to make a demo video. In Take Together Boston, it is to put a demo video, so you have to make a video. It depends upon the hackathon you are participating in and their rules. So make sure you go through all the rules of the hackathon you are participating in. Any other doubts? Yeah, Divyansika, you are raised hand. You may ask. Okay. So let's move forward. Now the next point is making your readme.md file of your project. Before that, I want to make sure that you know readme.md is a markdown language file. If you don't know about markdown, then we shall discuss a few minutes about markdown language. Markdown is a lightweight markup language which allows a digital text document using typical formatting techniques, for example, headings, emphasis, list, image, links, etc. The extension of Markdown is .md or .markdown. It can be converted to XHTML or HTML to display nicely in a browser. In GitHub, we use Markdown to write our README files. So let's move into the basic of our Markdown, that is heading. If you put one hashtag, it is the label one heading, and addition of hashtags will decrease your size of headings like this. The more hashtags you include, the less size the headings will be. For if you want to add paragraphs to your Markdown file, then you have to enter a blank line between two paragraphs, which will convert the text into two paragraphs. For line breaks, you have to include two spaces followed by an enter key. Formatting text in Markdown. For italics, wrap the content into one star. Put one star on each side of the content. For bold text, put your content into two stars, means put two stars on both sides of your content. If you want to use strike through, then add two tiles on each side of the content. Similarly, if you want to add links, then put the text into a square braces, and after that put two round braces and include the link inside the round braces. Now let's discuss about emphasis. So we have discussed if we are using one star or one asterisk mark on both sides, we are making the text in italic. Similarly, you can also use underscore to make your text italic. But if you want to make your text bold, then you have to either add 2 asterisk marks on each side or are 2 underscores on each side. You may also want to make your text both italic and bold. In that condition, use 3 asterisk marks on each side or 3 underscores on each side. To insert an image, it is same as inserting a link, only you have to add an exclamation mark before the square braces and your image will be inserted. These are all the points, and many times we need to include list, either unordered or ordered. For unordered list, you can use hyphen followed by a space and write your content. If you want to indent it, then use a tab key or use 4 backspace keys and followed by a hyphen and then followed by a backspace. You can use asterisk marks for bullet points. For ordered list, you have to do the same, but instead of hyphen, you have to use 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. If you want to add horizontal lines between your text, you can either use 3 hyphens or 3 asterisks or 3 underscores. And your formatted text will look like this. There are 3 lines you can see, 3 horizontal lines. Most of the times we are required to add code snippets. To add code snippets, always use backtick, 2 backticks on both sides of the code snippet. Sometimes we are also required to use code blocks. For code blocks, what you have to do, you have to add 3 backticks on both sides of the code. And if you want to highlight the code or the keywords, then you have to mention the language like this. If you're using JavaScript, mention the language JavaScript. If you're using Markdown, mention the language Markdown. Like this you have to do. So we got to know that backtick, asterisk, underscore, curly braces are used for these functionalities. But many a times you may be using that directly. So how will you use that? If you use to enter a backtick inside your text, then you have to use an escape character. Escape, before the escape character, you have to add a backslash, then that element. So these were all about Markdown languages. Let's move to our readme.md file. So let's take an example. Here is a sample example of readme.md file. In the first heading, you have to use 1 hash and write your project's name. Your project's name. After that, you have to mention all the heading. But before that, let's just discuss about readme. So why do I need a good readme.md? A readme file is an essential guide that gives other developers a detailed description of your GitHub project. You may be wondering why anyone should spend time writing a readme file. Well, here are some reasons to help convince you that it is a good idea to add a readme file. A good readme helps your project stand out from other projects. It should be as good as your project itself. It is the first thing to notice while encountering your project. So it should be pretty brief but detailed. So inside your readme, include some particular things like your project title. Include your project title. This is the name of the project. It describes the whole project in few words and help people understand the primary goal and aim. Write a description. Your description is an essential part of your project. A well-maintained description allows you to show off your work to other developers as well as potential employers. The quality of a README description differentiates a good project from bad ones. So what are the contents that you need to add inside your README file? The contents are inspiration, what it does, and how we built it, and much more. Inspiration. What was your motivation? Why did you build this project? After that, you have to mention what it does. What problem does the project solve? What was your application purpose? After that, you have to mention how we built it. Why you use specific technologies. If your project has a lot many features, list them here. Do not forget to mention challenges you ran into. Mention some of the challenges you faced and features you hope to implement in the future. And also mention the accomplishments that you are proud of. Mention anything that you think you are proud of building or having in that project. Then mention what you learned. What did you gain in that weekend? Means in this weekend. I'm sorry. Also mention what next for your project. Mention few things that you want to include post hackathon. Means after the hackathon ends, what you want to include in your project, which you are unable to include now because of lack of time. Mention build with. In this section, mention languages, frameworks, databases, etc. And at last, write a try it out section. Provide deploy links on any other required links. How to use your project. Provide instructions and examples so that users or contributors can use the project. This will make it easy for them so that if they encounter any problem, there will always be a place where they can take a reference. And last but not the least, include credits. If you have worked on a project as a team, list your team members. You should also include their GitHub profiles. If anyone has any doubt, you can put that in the chat section. I think no one has any doubt. So let's move forward. Before that, I want to show you a demo video so that you can get a reference to make yours. So this video was a video of our project, that is Cellox Hat. We took part in a MLH hackathon this year, in which we were able to fetch 4 prizes in a single hackathon.
Cellox Hat. This website contains each and every information about our hardware project in details. You are the detective and you are ready to an emergency situation. Press the button on your hand or you want to track something so you seems cool, right? Therefore, we bring you Cellox. Let's look into the hard solution. That is onboard GPS for gathering real-time location of the hat. Arduino Nano interfaces with the buttons and decode the GPS data and sends latitude, longitude, and time to Raspberry Pi. This controls everything and also responsible for recording audio and capturing video through the webcam and saving onboard system. Let's talk about display mode. There is a switch on the hat. By turning it on and off sequentially, one can send an emergency distress message to summon people or appropriate authority. The message contains a map link to the location of the hat, and this action can be accompanied by recording of video. Let's look into track mode. By leaving the same switch on, after 7 seconds, the adds its location every 3 seconds. Similar to the previous mode, hack can be made to record automatically and save it on onboard SD card or broadcast video to the remote observer. We could have made the gadget more compact, but due to shortage of time and supplies, we weren't able to do that. Thank you.
So you could see that we have included all the features of our project, including what we can do next, including the details of our languages we had used, and also few animations. You have to do the same in your video so that you can make the judges feel like you have enjoyed the project, you have put efforts into the project, and you are successful in the project. Your happiness should be described in your demo video. So make sure you prepare the best demo video you are able to. And I think you have a few hours left for hackathon submission. So try your best to build your demo video and do not waste more time, because many times there are very efficient projects, but they do not get prizes because their demo video is not like their project. It's not up to the mark. So make sure you are able to build a nice demo video for your projects and invest at least 3-4 hours in that. So after that, let's discuss about the readme. So let me take you a project. This was a project submitted by me and my team in Take Together Boston of 2020. And we got the prize of Eco AR Best AR VR Hack. In this, as I had already mentioned, you have to mention the inspiration, what it does, how we built it, challenges we ran into, accomplishment that we are proud of, what next for our project, build with, and try it our links. So one thing I want to share that in dev post, while we submit a project, we use the same markdown language that we use in GitHub. So make sure you make a good README so that you can copy paste the content while you are submitting the project. Let me give you a sample. So in this, you have to add a heading tag, and after that, it will convert the whole thing into a project's README. So I'm adding double hashtags to add heading. Be sure to that you are maintaining a good README file of your repository so that while others visit your repository, they find everything simple and they do not need to look more into it. So commit changes. So you can see headings are created, but you can see that the build with things are messy. If you want to create bullet points, you have to use the markdown language techniques, that is hyphen and space. You have to copy paste the same in all, like I am doing now. It makes your README looks better. Like this. You can add a hyphen and space to everything to create bullet points. Now commit changes. And you can see it has created bullet points. Another problem we can see that in the tryout links, it didn't create the link format. So to create links, you have to mention HTTPS before your links, so that GitHub could automatically render your link. So make sure to add HTTPS commit changes. And you can see that it has created a link, created two links. To make it another line, you have to give a space. Yeah, it's all ready. You can see the process was so easy. And if you want to learn more about Markdown language and create a nice looking readme, then I am putting the link here. Make sure you go through that. Yes, sure, I can share my GitHub profile. Wait a minute. Yeah. If anyone has any doubts, then put it in the chat section or we shall move forward. I think no one has any doubt. So let's move forward. We have discussed, wait a minute. We have discussed everything about README and all. In the submission phase, I think you won't get any problem because that is a README file that only we submit. You have to enter the team's details, their email ID and invite them. After that, you have to give a project overview. There you have to write the project name and an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is a 1-2 lines of pitch that you have created for your project. Remember to create a nice looking elevator pitch so that it can grab attention of judges and other developers. After that, in the project details, you have to copy paste the README file into it, and that's it, no other thing. And you have to add some, it is the same thing like built in and try cloud links. All things are included in the README file. You have to do the, you have to only copy paste things, and you can add images to your project media and a demo video link. The demo video link, you can put it here, and you can put the demo video on YouTube, Vimeo, or anything, any public URL. So that was all about. You can connect with me. These are my GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts. You can take a screenshot, or I will put the accounts in the account link in the mentor section. And if you are facing any problem while submitting your hacks or building your demo videos, make sure that you are going to the mentor request form and putting and tag and give a tag that you require help in demo video or submission like thing, and I will join you in the Zoom meeting and I will discuss, I will clear all your doubts if you face any doubts there. I think that's it. If anyone has any doubt, please ask me. What kind of project do you usually make for a hackathon? App, website, etc. It depends on the hackathon themes. Like sometimes it mostly we do projects on websites, but sometimes we have to do projects like app projects or like that. There we use Flutter, etc. And but mostly we develop websites. But if the hackathon theme is based on hardware projects, then you have to make projects on Arduino, R3. But most probably you have to build projects on websites, apps, or hardware side. If it is hardware side, then Arduino. It depends on you and your ideas how you can do that. Because if you want to send notification, if you want to build a project in which if it is raining outside you get a notification, then you cannot use a website, right? You have to use an application, and in the application you have to use Flutter or Java or anything like that. So it depends upon your idea what you have to do, but mostly it is website. Any other doubts? How much time do you spend on each phase? Planning, coding, debugging, demo video making in a 2-day hackathon? It's a nice question. Um, you have 3 or 4 teammates, because it participating alone is not applicable in Tech Together Boston. So you have to divide the works into 4 teammates. Like in the planning phase, each teammate has to take participate. So take a few hours, like 5 to 6 hours, to plan your project, to make a structure of your project and make a system design on a rough paper. After the 5-6 hours, you have to start your intense coding. But if everyone starts coding, then no one would be there to focus on the track or UI/UX part or presentation. So divide it accordingly. So you have to divide the process into 2 parts. 2 of your members should take part in the coding part, and 2 of your members should take part in the presentation part and demoing part. And whenever the coding part people get tired or they want to take a nap, the presentation part team members should take their part of coding and continue with that. Make sure you code your project in within a time limit of 24 hours, because after that you have to do a lot many things. You have to debug that, make a demo video, and also you have to present the project properly in your GitHub account. So in the first 6 hours, you have to plan the project. After that 24 hours, you have to invest in coding. And after that, all your investment goes into debugging and making the demo video. Yeah. Put a thumbs up if you think that your doubt is clear, or shall I explain in details? I think your doubt is cleared. So I have listed out everything related to winning tips of hackathons and how to make README in a blog. I am sharing that here. Make sure you go through the blogs so that you can make sure that you are going to deliver a winning page and a winning project. Yeah, Divanshika. If my video length is exceeding the time limit after including all the details you discussed, how shall I shorten the length? So if your video length is exceeding by few seconds, like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, no, that doesn't matter. You can submit the video. But if it is increasing like in 1 minute, or it is asked to submit a video within 3 minutes and you are submitting the video in 5 minutes, then you have to shorten your video length. You can what you can do that in the you can make the introduction part shorter. You can focus more on the demo, more on the what I can say, important parts of your project, like features of your project. And if you are including much more part to introduction or languages section or like that, try to make that shorter. For the demo video slides, you can use a pre-made template slideshow and add your information, or should you start on a blank one? It's always preferable that you do not use a slide. Okay. And if you are using a slide, use that to tell a story, not to explain your hack. What you can do that you can show your code and the working presentation and give a voiceover, and try your best not to include more slides, because judges are there to watch your project and the demonstration of the project. They do not want to see your presentation, your UI UX of the slides. So focus more on presenting your hack rather than making a slide. And if you're making a slide, then make sure that you are telling a story. Let me give you an example. For example, you have made an app for COVID patients. So what you can do that in the slide, you can take an example of a patient and explain your project on the background of the patient you have taken example of. Rather than that, do not use a slide. And if you want to introduce to your project, go to your web page or go to your application and then show that web page and application and introduce your project by giving a voiceover. So most parts you can do by giving voiceovers and not including a presentation. Try to show your code, try to show the demonstration, show yourself, but do not show slides. Is there any other doubt? I guess no. Yeah, thank you, Divyanshika. If there is no other doubt, I want to show you something. So I have uploaded contents about hackathons and how to win hackathons and everything related to tech and all. If you want to look into that, you can watch my channel, and there you can see much posts and videos on hackathons. If you have any doubt after that, make sure that you are tagging me, or you are dropping into my, you're pinging me or anything, or request for a mentor, and there you also mention that you want help in submission or video or presentation pitching, like that. I will make sure that I will assist you and in all your doubts. I think I have covered all the details. So if anyone has any doubt, make sure you ping me. That's it. And thank you everyone for attending the session.